Alrighty, we can go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Whitney Gilstrap. I am just here as the moderator to help out Janice, who will be doing our presentation today. What are 2 ways you can improve cash flow? Janice is from Blue Moon Industries, and she will be doing the bulk of the presentation today. I think that there is also a poll. So if you do see that poll in there, go ahead in there. There should be 2 questions within there. So go ahead if you have a chance, get in there and fill out those polls. And then additionally, just a reminder that this session will be recorded. You can access the recording after the conference. And additionally, you can ask questions throughout the session in the chat area. We'll be monitoring that as well. So thank you for joining us, and I'll hand it over to Janice.
Great. Thanks, Whitney. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend our session today, which are 2 ways that you can improve cash flow. As Whitney mentioned, my name is Janice, and I'm with Blue Moon Industries, and I'm here with Dawn Eckerty from our company as well. So we want to go through a couple of our products today. And as Whitney mentioned, we do have a poll going, and there will be fabulous prizes by completing the poll. So if you could answer the questions, we would really appreciate it. So I'm going to turn off my video while I present, and then we will start in with the demonstration and the slideshow. All right, so just to move on here, just a little bit of an agenda for our session today. A little bit about Blue Moon, some key differences in the products that we are going to be showing you today versus some of the ISV products you might see out there. And we're going to take a look at 2 ways where you can improve cash flow from customers and create easy ways to accept payments from those customers. And we'll take a look at some screenshot overviews of the product, and then, of course, have time for Q&A at the end. So Blue Moon has been around for quite some time. We've been developing products since 1994, initially in the Dynamics space for the Dynamics GP product. We are in the process of moving our products into Acumatica. We are certainly Acumatica certified, and we're looking to take those key products that we've had so much success on the Dynamics GP space side and start to bring those to other ERPs, including Acumatica. So that's what we would like to show you today is a couple of those products. One of the things that differentiates us is there is no software license cost for our solution. It's just the processing fees from the payment processor. You also will see that our products are embedded right in the Acumatica software. So it is a truly seamless experience for customers, and they can just use the software right in conjunction with the rest of their Acumatica system. So they don't have that situation where they're going out to another tool or to a website or something like that and then coming back and forth. So you'll see that a bit as we go through it. And we can work with any payment processor or gateway. So our product is not tied to a specific processor or a specific gateway. So if you as a customer, if you already have someone that you are working with, your bank or another payment processor, then we will set up that relationship in a way that will allow you to continue that relationship that you've already developed. All righty. So we're going to take a look at 2 different products today that make up our electronic payment suite. One of them is our electronic payment processing, or our EPP module, and the other one is our customer invoice portal product. And so one of them is really providing that credit card and ACH processing within sales orders or receivables. And then the other one is giving you an ability to electronically deliver a link to your customers to self-pay their invoices, or at the very least have a portal that they can go out to view the invoices, see their outstanding balances, see their credit memos, apply credit memos and payments against those outstanding invoices, and then have that integrated back into your Acumatica system. So we're going to take a look at each one of those products. So the electronic payment processing does provide that credit card and ACH processing, and it is also sales order and receivables. And what that does is it gives you the ability to go back and, for example, use that accounts receivable as a collection tool, for example. So if you have someone that typically pays on account, but maybe they're overdue or they have a situation going on, you could offer them a payment option that could be an electronic payment, or it could be an electronic check or a credit card or something like that, and apply that to an already posted invoice in your system. So it's not simply on that sales order to invoice process. It could be something that you would use as well as a collection tool within your system. So those key features that we're discussing, it is seamlessly integrated. It also supports on that sales order to invoice side, the pre-authorization, the capture, returns, voids. So you do have that ability to go in and um, have all of those options available. If you're familiar with the pre-auth or pre-authorization process, that means you're reserving those funds. So it may be if you produce a sales order and you still have to maybe assemble the product, or that product takes a few days or even longer to be produced, and before it's shipped out to your customer, you could have that reservation against that credit card in place. And then that way you've reserved the funds on that credit card. And then when it's time to ship the product and you want to actually capture those funds and pull them, they're there and they've been reserved against that credit card. We also allow you to store these in a secure wallet location within the customer master within Acumatica, and you can have multiple credit cards per customer. And that gives you the ability to have either just simply multiple credit cards or even default cards by location. So if the Amex is used when the customer's shipping something to California, but the Visa card is used when they're shipping something to Boston, then you could have that default in place so that it's very easy to have the credit card be defaulted into the transaction as they're going through processing an order. We also allow you to have multiple credit cards per sales document. So maybe they have a lower limit on one card, but they get better points. So they would like to put that credit card in as the first one, and then anything over that, go to another credit card. You could even have a multiple credit card situation. And as you would expect, everything is fully tokenized, meaning there is nothing stored within the system at all. There is nothing that could be compromised in any way. And also with level 3 support, you can be assured that these transactions are secure and they are able to be processed without having any compromised transaction capability or credit card credit card details being shared. We also provide a complete activity logging so that if there is a question, you can go back to it. And what's nice about this is that if a credit card is declined, for example, and of course, excuse me, as often happens, the customer is amazed, they can't believe it, they need to know why. We have a very easy window that would give you the ability to reach out to the credit card processor and reach out and find out why that credit card was declined. The information is in regular speak so that the user could see it was declined because the zip code didn't match, or this didn't match, or maybe it was over the limit. So it'll give the user accurate information about reasons for things like declines, so that you don't have to go through hoops just to find out why a credit card was declined. We're also in the process of adding a new feature for surcharges so that if you did want to offer credit card processing, but you wanted to kind of recoup some of those overages that, or excuse me, surcharges that can happen, so what you're being charged by the credit card processor, you could, in some states, as far as compliancy goes, if it's available, you could also pass that charge along to your customer, and then that would be charged along with their cost of the item that they're purchasing. So this is the window that you would go into if you saw the credit card, if you were setting up that credit card for a sales order. So you could see that sales order information is in here. And then you would just click on the credit card payments and it would open up this window. So as you can see, you're never leaving the sales order. You're coming in here to put in that payment. Now, if you had a default credit card set up for this customer, this information would be filled in. However, it would be certainly encrypted. You would see the last 4 digits and the rest would be X's here. And then you would be able to process that through here. Once you do and you process it, you'll see it right in here as another tab right in the sales order. Again, not having to leave the sales order at all. And you would have the payment here, and then you'd have all of the information here. And so if it was, for example, a pre-authorization, it would be pending processing. So it would be in play or in process. If there was a decline, it would tell you if it was declined, and then you would have that additional information available to you. And then you would also then see if there was a valid surcharge, our upcoming feature there, along with the payment amount. So you would see that that surcharge would be charged to the customer, though it would be certainly in addition to the total of the order that they would be processed. So it's a very easy process for your users within the sales order module to enter the payments, to capture the payments. And then if that order is turned into an invoice, you can automatically capture that so that when it turns into the invoice, you don't need to do anything manually. It will just naturally capture that pre-authorization into an actual credit card charge. So that is our electronic payment processing. On the customer invoice portal side, this gives you the ability to allow your customers to pay you electronically by doing that in a self-service mode. So this would give you the ability then to still have that same compliance, but have this web-based tool that you could send the link to where the customer could log in, have a secure login with their email and password there, and then they could do everything from simply looking at their outstanding invoices and credit memos and their balance to actually processing a payment to to you from them. You can also go in and apply those payments and have everything integrated back into your acumatica system. So, for example, these invoices for the customer would be out here. They would also be able to see everything else. They could see credit memos, they could see partial payments, they could run reports that would be like their own aging, for example. And then while they're out in that system, they would be able to then process their own payments, apply a credit memo against an invoice. And then if they did process a payment, that payment would come back into the acumatica system here as a payment. So first in this window, you can see that an invoice was processed, sent to the portal with the information, the reference number, and all of the details regarding that customer. And then once that customer made a payment against that invoice, for example, you would see that particular payment being processed, sent back into the acumatica system, and then also that payment amount applied against whatever invoices it was applied to. So even if that invoice was, let's say, $1,500 and they applied a $1,000 payment to it, it would still show that partial. Or if they also applied a $500 credit memo against it that was out there, you would see that as well. And that transaction process would model exactly the way the customer set it up back over in the acumatica system so that there's no manual application of the payment or the credit memo. It would all come through directly into the system by having this portal integrated in with the acumatica system. And we found that this has been a really useful tool for customers that don't want to accept credit cards, let's say within their company. They want to have a self-service environment for their customers, and they want them to go out and handle, if you will, all the credit card or ACH information out on their own website that they put together in that portal for the customer. We've also had a number of situations where customers have said that their customers just want to use the portal. They want to print the invoice from there and they're going to pay it the same way they always paid it. but they like the idea of going to a portal to see their own account, be able to download those invoices or copies of them if they need to, and then make the payment through traditional means, but still having that electronic portal to go out to. So there's a variety of ways that you can implement this with customers. And you can also certainly have some customers that go all in and they want to pay everything from the portal. And then those that are just going to visit the portal and then still pay you with the same check that they've always been paying you with. So there isn't a requirement that it's all or nothing. You can even set up customers to not be part of the portal, so that if you have a customer that says, nope, not doing any of that, none of that newfangled stuff, you could still mark them as not being part of the portal. Their invoice would still go out the same way it always did, and they would not be part of the customer portal. So it's a very flexible tool that can give you quite a bit of information out to your customers, but also be fully integrated back into your acumatica system. So these are just two of the products that we have. We certainly have more products that we're working on for the acumatica channel. We're also going to be participating in the acumatica conference in January. So if you are planning on coming out there, we would love to talk to you more then, of course. But if you have any questions, we certainly are going to open up for Q&A now. But also you can visit our website and also email us if you'd like to find out more about us and the other products that we have available for acumatica. So I will now turn it over to the Q&A and the poll, and we will take it from there. Thank you very much.
It does look like we got one question in, and it's from Donna. And she said, when do you think you will have the surcharge fee done? And will this also work on the mobile app?
Dawn, do we have an update on the our delivery date for the surcharges? I was thinking is the end of this quarter. But
yeah, it's very, very soon. I don't have an actual date yet, but maybe even a month out. But I don't want to be holding anything. But it's very soon.
Mm-hmm. It should be before the end of the year for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And when you say mobile app, do you mean the mobile acumatica app? Could we get a clarification on that question?
It only says mobile app in the question, but Donna,
okay.
Feel free to clarify that in the chat. Or
okay, Dawn, if you want to jot that down, we can also get that one answered for sure.
Okay.
Once we get that clarification.
Yes, the acumatica app. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe so, but I will make sure. We'll make sure and get that answer back to you.
Okay, those are the only questions I'm seeing so far. So reminder, if you guys have questions or want any clarity on anything, feel free to drop those in the chat. And I want to thank you guys again. That was a great presentation. Thank you so much. I know you said you had a poll too.
Yes.
So if you want to go ahead and yeah, I'll call out if there's another question that pops in, but feel free to go ahead and get that started.
And also, I'll be picking a winner. We're giving away a 20-ounce Yeti tumbler, and I will contact the winner and get their address and mail that to them.
Okay, great.
And I assume you guys are going to be doing that after the event?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, I think we'll hang out here. If you guys do have questions, I think we're here for 2 more minutes before we have to hand it over for another session. But thank you again so much for attending, and thank you both so much for presenting. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.